Hi, this is Dr. Nick. I'm here at the Digital Health Summit at CES 2020. I'm delighted to be joined by Helene Silverman. She is the Senior Vice President of Client Relations at Kantar. Helene, thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me, Nick.
So tell us a little bit about Kantar and what they're doing and what's exciting in this digital health world, particularly as we move into 2020.
Well, what's really exciting is the connection between diversity and inclusion and how that ties to the way companies think about health tech innovation. There is so much data out there about how diversity and inclusion actually drive company financial performance. We really need to put that all together when we're thinking about innovation.
So important to understand this. When you talk about diversity is driving innovation, this is actually a positive to the bottom line for companies. This isn't just about a feel-good, we should be doing this, which is the right thing as well, but this actually contributes to the bottom line.
That's correct. It's both the right thing to do and it affects companies' financial numbers. There was a study just released on Friday from Great Place to Work showing that diversity, companies that are more diverse and inclusive actually outperform the S&P 500.
Wow, so outperforming, there's not I think it's only 5% of financial advisors can actually outperform the S&P, so the fact that you're doing that with diversity is incredible. Can you explain what's going on, what's happening, why is that the case?
Well, I think there's been a lot of pressure in the news and from employees and a higher focus on employee engagement. And one of the things that Kantar has done is actually create an industry standard metric companies can use to know how they're doing in this area and then use that to make plans.
So when we talk about Kantar, this is the company that people can come to help them improve that from a metric to be able to measure it. How do you go about doing that?
Well, we start by running what we call the Inclusion Index with the company's employees, which we can do in all their locations around the world. And then we'll use that to analyze with them what's working and really understand what employees feel it's like to work there in that context of diversity and inclusion.
And you've been able to tie that data back to the financial performance of those companies and the ones that you've been working with.
Yeah, there's a lot of research about that. Many institutions have been looking at that, and you can really see it playing out in the marketplace.
Fantastic. So as you think about the next year, this upcoming year, it's an exciting year, obviously, lots of expansion. What's next for Kantar, and what are you focusing on this year?
Well, what I'd really like to see is some action from the talk I gave earlier today, where I showed that people who identify as disabled report the worst employee experience versus other groups, and what we can help companies do to innovate in an area that creates adaptive technology for that audience specifically. I would love to see that happen.
And one of the things that always occurs to me when I think about this and diversity and the challenges is walk a day in the life of those individuals. I think that's one of the challenges that we have. Is there some scope to be able to do that for people to understand in a way that allows them to really feel the sense of lack of inclusion?
Well, there are some activities I've seen companies do where you kind of step back away from a line for every diversity dimension you have, and that really helps people visualize how far away we are from one another. So that's one of the things I've seen people do that can kind of make them feel that. The other thing is the Social Security Administration projects that 1 in 4 20-year-olds will be out of work for at least a year due to a disabling condition between now and when they retire.
Wow, 1 in 4. Think about that, 25%,
Exactly.
So that's a big population to be focusing on.
So many of us are going to be in those shoes at some point.
Fantastic. So just remains for me to thank you, Helene, for joining me here at Digital Health Summit.
Thanks for chatting with me, Nick. Have a good day.
This is Dr. Nick. I'm here at the Digital Health Summit at CES 2020.